Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Tim. Can you say that again? I could barely hear
The
you.
purple gems. Oh, sorry, I'm on the Wi-Fi. The purple gems. How do you usually get them? Like, I find them hard to get.
Yeah. So with the, is this? Am I going crazy? Is this thing not? Yo, you see this? Look at this, man. My hospital button is bugged. Did you? That is so crazy. I probably just hit the refresh. So sorry. Let me not get off. Let me not get off track. So with the purple gems. So the purple gems themselves are purple gems are a finite resource as well. Just to be frank. So the only ways you can get purple gems right now is from Harbor, from dismantling any immortals that you pull from Hall of Immortals, and utilizing the alchemy lab, and then also from the Human Rebels event. So the Human Rebel event, I think, is here actually. Wait, didn't I see it here? No, is it?
And they have that small pack that comes in like once a week for like $1 or something.
Yeah, is it Rebel Tracks? Rally your alliance and other rebels. Yeah, it is. So it's Rebels Tracks. So Rebel Tracks is an event that comes up where, from attacking gnomes that are 8 and above, you'll get like if you've played Rock before, it's like getting Lohars, if that's a good example for anyone that's played Rise of Kingdoms, or I don't know what the SOS example would be, but essentially you attack gnomes and then you get inventory items, and I can show you what those look like because I think I still have some. So yeah, they look like this. These little heads that say Carpo Rangers emblem, Seth emblem. These are all rebel groups. So you'll click on it, it'll summon a unit on the map, and then you attack that unit. You have to rally it with your alliance members. But these give you purple gems as well, right? So this is a fantastic event if you want to, if you're willing to use some AP on it. You can definitely benefit from it. And then what we do is we tell people like, look, just farm this, and then at the end of the event, we all gather at a city, and then we'll just do rebel rallies all day long, right, for like the next 2 or 3 days. So as many people can get in on them as possible. And we always have like one city that we'll usually have marked. I don't know if we have one now, but most of the time we usually do. So if anyone has rebel rallies that they get, then they can just go there, right, if they want to go there with anyone, which I think is a good strategy because then you can maximize how many people can get purple gems. But that's basically it. So it's, well, there's a fourth one too, special events. Some special events will give you purple gems as well. Sometimes they're seasonal events, and sometimes they're just other ones that come around. So it's that. It's the Rebel Rally event. It's Harbor from doing any of your shipments, and then from doing dismantling of Immortals. Those are right now the 3 consistent plus the optional fourth way that you can farm purple gems. So, but it still is pretty hard. Or I guess takes a while. I probably should say.
Plus, there are quests that give you shards, so you have to complete those. That's also like you have those troops training, fortification training, and etc.
Yeah.
So if you do those, you get shards that you can turn into purples.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There's another one. Mrs. Danger, what's up? Welcome. Let's see. Aladdin, what's up? Welcome. Sorry, I need to read this a little bit more. I feel like I've been missing out on the chat a bit. Spending, Big Papa said, I understand you like to spend on VIP. I do. VIP is, I think, vitally important. And I think some people might underestimate VIP for the value that it actually gives, which, you know, in other games you can unlock VIP and it might unlock a permanent builder, but I think in this, right, VIP 10 really is the target that you want to hit. And that's mainly because of what you get from the daily chest, which is the Philosopher's Stone, right? From VIP 9 and under, you'll get Philosopher's Stone shards. But at VIP 10, you'll actually get the Philosopher's Stone every day. If you combine that with doing your daily activities to get your 100 chest, right, that's 2 Philo Stones you can get every day. Now, it costs 9 Philosopher Stones to do a 9 pool, right? That gets you the 10% off, so you're using 9 to pull for 10, right? Plus, you get the guaranteed epic or immortal, or sorry, you get the elite or epic immortal guaranteed from doing a 9 pool. So if you're doing the dailies on top of VIP 10, right, you're getting 2 Philosopher Stones a day. That means that every 9 days you're going to be able to do two 9 pools, right? 9 times 2 is 18. So you'll be able to do a 9 pool on day 5 and then another 9 pool on day 9. That is, in my opinion, that's vitally important because that is going to be another consistent stream of income for purple gems that you're going to get, in addition to just having a higher chance now because your rate is faster of getting more epic shards or maybe even full epic pools. So it kind of all intertwines back in if you invest. That's why I'm just such a big believer in VIP. At least VIP 10, because I know some people like to spend green gems on on Immortals in the market, or spending them in Mysterium, or spending them in other areas. But or even if you're using green gems just to spend on Philosopher Stones from the shop, right, which you can do here. If you scroll down on the shop, which is the little red, white covered tent, I think it's near the bottom, right? Yeah, Philosopher Stones are 300 green gems, right? And I don't think there's a limit on these. So, you can, I mean, if you're a heavy spender, you could sit there and buy like a 99 gem pack and use your 25k green gems, right, for your first purchase and just blow them all on Philo Stones if you really wanted to. So, there are some advantages there. I just like the VIP for the bonuses it gives you and then the daily Philo Stone.
Before people start spending their gems on the VIP, please tell us how much it costs to get to VIP 10.
What is it? I can't remember now because I'm going to 11 and it's 2. I'm almost there. God, what was 10? 175? 180? Is that about right, Shadow?
I think it was 150.
Is it? Oh, maybe it was 150. You're right. It is 150. Yeah. You're right. So yeah, it's
basically 150,000 green gems.
150k green gems. So, but the thing is that like as you're playing, you're gonna get a lot of gems from Chronicle. You get a lot of gems from Supreme Alliance, from City Siege events, from other events as well that you're gonna get that are gonna happen. In addition to just leveling up your main quests as you're playing, you're gonna get a lot of green gems. And as a free to play, you could probably hit VIP 10 in maybe, I'd say like around 50 days, give or take. Would be my estimation. Maybe somewhere around 55. I think you can do it within 2 months for sure. I just don't know if it's going to be around like 50, 55, but it's somewhere around there, just depending on how consistent you are with your daily activity. But that would be, I think, like a rough estimate for what you could hit. So glad I tuned in as I'm also focusing water. Yeah, the water's good. Let me see here. Oh, hang on. I think I scrolled too far on the questions. Merlin is best. Asked, no pun intended. Strongest 2 elements in the current meta. I'll be honest, I haven't done my Immortal tier list yet. But I don't know if Shadow wants to give his thoughts.
I can answer that right now.
Yeah.
So, as in right now, due to the fact that Holy and Shadow full teams are not viable because a lot of those guys are not available, right now, if you look at the top players, their top arena teams are usually Earth, Wind, and Lightning, or Earth, Wind, and Water. That seems to be the meta right now. So the top 2 would probably be, from the big spenders, would be like Earth and Wind.
I think Fire and Lightning is viable. It's just that I don't. Most players I think haven't done full unlocks on them yet, unless they're high spenders, and they might just be favoring, wind and or Earth. I do think that Lightning or Fire does have some good viability. I just don't know many people that have really tested it. I know there are some people that are running it for top arena teams on some servers. But I think what Shadow was saying is very accurate for where the current meta stands at the moment.
So I'm working on my Lightning team.
Yeah. So.
Better team down. Yep.
Hey, Don, what are your thoughts on boosting up your heroes for your other marches? That way you're able to get them to gather higher tiles. I'm not talking about their levels, I'm talking about their actual, when you get them the gear from the campaign and stuff like that to boost them.
I'm to be honest, I feel like I heard half the question. Sorry, you said when you're getting the equipment from Well of Time missions?
Yeah, no. When you're getting it from the world campaigns and stuff that you guys do in the campaign, instead of leveling up your characters, I'm talking about boosting them up so they're able to have more troops.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just increasing the level, so
So
it
you-
increases the troop capacity.
You can continue to do that. That way you're able to gather higher resource tiles, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think 100%. I think it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, which is that it's good to focus on, again, it's good to focus on one march. 100%. I think that doing that is, you're doing it for all the right reasons, right? I think if you're, let me preface with that. So if you're free to play to low spend, that's what I believe you should be doing, is you should be primarily focusing on one march. Now, if you're JoJo or Andromeda level, right, or any of those 7 VIP 15 guys from S9, right, then okay, maybe you can decide if you want to work on, 2 or 3 marches at a time. Like, our top guys right now, like Zamzi, JoJo, Andromeda, even Shadow when he was there, and Gibbles, right, now that once they know they have the strongest primary troop march or troop power in the server, and there's no one below them that is really kind of an adversary or a rival, right? Then that's kind of that moment where you can say, okay, now I can start working on my second march, or even my third, and that's really what some of our top players have started doing now. So I think there's a specific time when you want to do it, right? If your troop power march, like if you're free to play low spend, for you're probably just going to be working on your one march, investing the majority of your resources into that until they start hitting max. Like, the first thing you're probably going to hit on any march is max skill, right? You'll probably max skill them off of the shards that you're collecting from market or other areas, and then it'll probably be the level, and then it'll probably be the grade, and then the equipment, right? That's probably the order that it's going to go in for what you would max first on per composition. And then that'll be the time for a free-to-play low spend to then say, okay, now I can start investing any of the market shards that I get into my second march, right? And then so on and so forth with the levels for the EXP scrolls, the Well of Time materials to improve the grade, and then eventually the gnome equipment that you're harvesting from gnomes, right, into boosting the equipment levels. For mid-spender to high-spender, that's really where I would say that you can then, once you feel like you have the strongest troop power, or there's no one that's not on your team or in your alliance collection of players or other alliances, then at that time, once you feel like your troop power is strong enough, then you can go ahead and start working on a second one. But having at least the strongest or close to the strongest is your deterrent, right? That's your safety net. I don't know if Shadow wants to add anything else onto that.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Always nice when I can get Shadow's approval. So.
Okay, well, I have a question.
Please.
Oh, and hi everyone. So you were talking about the marches and things, because like I asked earlier, like I've been struggling to max up. So I kind of now with what you said now is I've been focusing on it wrong, because I focused on my main march, which is now stuck at like 28, and I've been trying to do it for like 5 days and I can't get any higher. But I have 2 other marches that I have been simultaneously also doing as I was getting fragments from the immortal, whatever you call it. Like the one that you spin and then you get it with the free gems things. So I was upgrading them. So do you suggest that I dismantle them and then use those shards, like how you mentioned that you can do it, and then go use them in the marketplace, and then eventually when they are maxed, then start focusing on the second line? Is that what you are saying? Or should I just continue using the free gems or the free fragments that I was getting and just continue working on my second and my third march? Because I currently use my second and my third march together all the time.
Yeah.
Hopefully I make sense. That's what I'm asking.
No. I think I might have to re-ask something in a sec, but I think with I think it just kind of goes back to the same thing, where I guess it depends on where you're at. So let me show an example of, like, so for me, let me start here. I personally believe that, so there's actually there's a preface point, like there's a big asterisk here. But let me start with, I definitely believe that it's good to unlock all of the Immortals first. And that's also so you get green gems from them when you unlock through the gallery. Right, so you get green gems for your epics. What, it's 300 for wherever Helen is. It's 100. Then I think it goes 50 and 20, and then I think these are 20 shards. Yeah, for the dragon. So I like the idea of unlocking as many Immortals as you can before you start doing before you start looking for before you start dismantling any of them through the alchemy lab. Now, the asterisk here is that this only applies to epics, because you're going to get elites, you're going to get the purples, blues, and greens that show up in the market regardless. So the only way that you can... So this kind of goes into, like, do you want to manipulate the market a little bit, right? The way that you can manipulate the market is if you are limiting the epics that you're unlocking. So let's say that, because when they come up, right, when you summon, right, because even though it is kind of like a double standard, because, like, there, as an example, when you unlock elites, purples, you'll still get those purples in the market from what we've seen and tested. So sometimes I'll have a purple and it'll say summonable, right, or a green or a blue that says summonable. But I still see those Immortals in the market. So those ones are the ones that don't really play into this. It's really the epics. So when you have when you get an epic to like 60 to 60, right? So like right now Richard will not show in the market for me. But once I get him to 60-60, it'll say summonable. I actually have to summon him before he will then start showing up in the market. So if you want to manipulate the market for the epics that you get, then you could only unlock the epics for a specific element, right? And then you just will have a higher chance of seeing those epics pop compared to more epics, right? So for me, because my strategy more or less is just investing into any epic that I see, so I can make sure that I'm getting good market order scroll value, that's my approach. That may not be someone else's approach. You might want to approach it that way.
My approach was the one that you just mentioned about I only focus at the moment on water.
Yeah.
The whole water element. So anytime when I see any water element, that's what I'm grabbing and that's what I'm gravitating towards.
Okay.
So it makes sense, because I was just curious about, like, when you were saying
No,
about the
apparently
whole
they know.
dismantling of your troops, or the, you know what, when you were saying you go fishing, then I was like, okay, I missed a part probably, but I understand now everything that you said. So I'm like, okay, I know now where I went wrong, because the nerd in me was like, no, I need to figure this out.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. No, I hope that
Hey,
helps.
guys.
I don't think there's anything wrong with focusing on just buying specific element types for your water march, right? If you're just focusing on those 4 Immortals, because if you don't have them max skilled, then you're really fishing for 4 Immortals. So it's not a bad ratio when you're utilizing your free refreshes and your market orders. I would say once it starts getting a little lower than that, then really it's just up to you, right? As far as, do you just want to keep focusing on doing nothing but using your market orders to just fish for your specific element type Immortals, the ones that you're running? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it just depends on what each person wants to invest in and how you see that. Or you can do it where you do kind of like a light investing into a second or a third march. For me, I'm kind of all over the place because I'm just investing into every epic that I see. So, again, I'm super widespread. It's going to take me a lot longer to do it that way. But you can hyper-focus and just do 1 or 2 elements. So you're expanding it to 4 to 8 Immortals, essentially. That increases the value of what you're getting for each market order or each refresh that you use in the market. But I don't think there's anything wrong with just focusing on 1 element if that's really what you want.
Hey, got a question for you.
Soviet, hey, yeah.
Hey, how are you? So I'm currently watching the live, and it's very interesting. Thanks for that. I got a question regarding the way you're actually going through with all your commanders. I'm pretty much doing the same. And just like you, I invest in all epics. And currently, I'm having a question on the test. Either if some tests were done on Elizabeth, for instance, because I'm planning basically. I have this super strong. I mean, my water is okay. It's around 94K or something like that. Then I got Earth around almost 80K, but my water is getting destroyed at the moment by Earth, and I want to see if eventually Elizabeth mixed into the water could actually, be the answer of pretty much everything. Because as we know, darkness is supposed to beat everything, and I'm not sure exactly how this commander is behaving in terms of damage. I'd like to know if we have some feedbacks on how well she does and everything. If it's she's almost maxed out, so I'm just wondering if this is the Joker, the kind of a wild card you would use for all your elements. If you can put her anywhere and she will do the job, or that's the question I have. So far, I haven't seen anyone talking about that, and I'm just wondering.
Uh, so yeah, I would probably want to defer that to Shadow to see what he thinks first before I answer. Um, I think because he has Elizabeth unlocked as well. Um, do you have any thoughts, Shadow, before I chime?
I mean, I could talk about a few points, but I do not have her maxed. So
Okay.
that's something I couldn't really comment on. But as far as a unit, she's excellent. As far as a unit, you could flex her in on water. You could flex her in on fire as well. And she'd probably fit into those teams very, very well. I'm not sure if that would be the answer, though, to Earth. Earth is a hard counter for water. And it seems to be one of the strongest meta teams right now. But it's definitely something worth giving a shot to. Like I said, she is a fantastic unit, and with her skills, with Merlin in the back, she'd be really good. So
So Shadow, guys, I got a question. I'm sharing my screen, so in order to have, because I'm planning to spend more, and I just want to make sure I'm getting the right setup. Um, I'm planning on replacing Cleo with her, and using full Earth whenever my Charlemagne is maxed out, which is going to be this week, I believe. So, question is, according to me, if I'm facing Earth with my Earth, if I'm having her instead of Cleo, okay, I will lose 20% HP because it's not a full 5 members Earth, but I will get, I would say, Elizabeth behaving like she was some Thunder team, right? Because she's basically beating everybody. So my question is, would that setup would actually work more than a setup with only full Earth? That's what I'm wondering. I think it could be interesting to have her replacing Cleo in a matchup Earth versus Earth.
well, the other thing that you'd be losing when you take out Cleo is that damage reduction, right? From the highest attack, magical attack from the other team, as well.
Yeah. But
So
then don't you think it skills?
yeah, so
from
so I mean skills. I mean they both have pretty valid skills. I mean, like I said, like Elizabeth could be pretty good on that team, but I'm not really sure you'd have to test it. Like I said, I don't have her maxed, and my Earth team is now maxed.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's something you could play with. I mean, my Elizabeth right now is she's 5-star, but she doesn't like I put her on some different teams, and she doesn't really
Same.
perform
Yeah.
really that well.
Yeah,
So
same thing. I'm waiting for her to have her maxed out and check exactly how she behaves instead of Minamoto or something like that.
yeah.
But I was wondering. Okay, well, thanks for the. I guess I'll make the test and I'll let you guys know. Thanks
Yeah,
for the answer,
great.
though.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the other big thing is just valuing out whether or not the 25% buff on top of you running with a flex battery in that comp is making up for the 10% loss of HP that you're getting from the max synergy bonus as well, on top of testing out how she would work once you do have her to max skill. Because again, you're gonna get like for the troops, right? You'll get the God, what is it again? Isn't it for it's for the troop? It's for the troop advantage. It's 25% reduction of damage when it's troop versus troop, and then for the immortal advantage, it's 25% plus base damage. Oh God, let me double check that. It's either that or it's the one opposite. It shows it in the troops too. So let me double check. Where's it, Bowman? Oh wait, I'm going to the wrong thing. What do I actually have? Oh, oopsies, hang on. I gotta remember. Here we go. Oops, it's not that. I actually have to go in. I keep forgetting.
Oh, one question while you're looking at that.
Yep.
Regarding Earth,
There it is.
I went for Leo because I like this. I thought it was cooler, but obviously in games like that, whenever you have to spend gems to upgrade a commander, it means that usually the commander is better. So, does Alex is better than Leo? Because I understand that Alex does DPS, where Leo goes debuff and more like it being a tank. So if I remove Alex and I have Leo, I need to have like a strong backlane, right? And where it's not the case with Leo because it's already a DPS. What exactly do you prefer in the Earth configuration?
Shadow, do you want to go first? and then I can
Okay.
answer. Okay, then I'll answer after.
I don't like Leo as well. So I have a maxed out Leo and I have a maxed out Alex Knight, and I way prefer Alex. I feel like the damage is phenomenal. His attack speed along with the immunity to control is fantastic. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Like I don't use Leo at all. He kind of just sits. He just kind of sits.
He camps. He can't.
I don't
he's
use
like
him
the
at all.
third string on the bench. He's like the water boy.
Yeah.
I think I think I favor Shadow's analysis too. The other thing I like about Alex is that I think for anyone that has increased attack speed, you're just regenerating your skills that much faster. Because every auto attack is gonna go towards energy regeneration as well. So I think some people might undervalue the attack speed right now if they're not paying attention to like how quickly the energy gauge is filling up on immortals that are attack speed oriented or just have those kind of built into their base stats. So I think for that as well, I would favor Alex at the moment.
So long story short, it means whenever you have a commander that is only unlockable with gems, usually it's better than any other commander that are unlockable, let's say the old way on the market.
I thought so at the beginning, right? But that's not really the case right now that I'm finding for water. So let me give you an example of this.
Ramses?
Ramses is one of those expensive units, right? So he's very strong in the beginning, and he seems very good. But the issue is that if you look at Harold and how amazing of a unit Harold is, and you get him maxed out, you can see that he's outperforming Ramsey in damage. His skill is better. It's a constant dot that procs in arena and in different things all the time. And also, if you look at him, like you get him from Immortal, you get him from the Immortal Hall, you can summon him that way, and you can get him from the arena, so he's fairly easy to get, and he's outperforming Ramses in almost every aspect. So I would say it's not always the case, but for the other ones, they are very good and usually better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought was Ramses. That's the reason why I stopped upgrading this guy, and then removed him. And actually, I found out, even on Gnomes, that the water team was behaving better, having Charlemagne being there, tanking for the water team, than just having full water. I saw that basically the water team would actually sometimes kick ass of the Earth teams with Charlemagne, and I believe that when Charlemagne is maxed out with the rest of the water team, the one I have, which is Minamoto, Harold, and Merlin, I believe that Charlemagne is bringing that tankiness that the water team does not have. And this is quite surprising, and the results are quite good. But I believe if you want to smash the Earth, you need to have higher skills, of course, in terms of skills in each heroes. So that's the, of course, you need to spend more there. But I still think that water can make it, but you would have to have high skills.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think right now with the game just being as young as it is, there's just a lot of testing that players like yourself and others are still doing, and some of those things we just haven't really done a lot of yet. Like for the most part, right? I think some of the interesting compositions are the ones that aren't based on 4-1 flex comps or 5 all synergies, right? Doing things like an assortment where you do like one epic of each element, or you just don't restrict it to the synergy bonuses, or maybe you just go for 2 synergy bonuses or 3. I think some of those compositions that you can test, like an AoE debuff or like highest DPS or dual healer. I mean, whatever it could be, right? I think there's interesting things that we just haven't had the chance yet to do trial and error, because I think, in this, it's kind of like playing World of Warcraft to an extent, right? It's like people tell you that the game doesn't, and Shadow knows, like, I use this example all the time. It's like people tell you if you play WoW, right, that the game doesn't really start for you until you hit max level. I think similarly, when you compare that to IK, there is a hard ceiling cap that every composition is eventually going to get to, because you can max out at 40, 20 for the grade. You eventually, once you get max gear, you max skill out, there will eventually be a hard cap that you get your immortal composition to. And then at that point, when you have this at max, and then you have your kind of testing trial and error compositions at max, right? That's when it'll start, I think, being really interesting to see if full element synergy comps or 4-1 comps are really going to keep being the meta, or if people will start branching out and going into like 3-2 or like a 4 assorted, right, plus a dragon or something like that. I think that would be interesting to see. I think it's coming, but it's just going to take some time. So let me see. There's a bunch of new people that joined. Asbad, what's up? Fatarol, what's up? Frimo, what's up? Nightmare, Kratos, hey.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
And then I need to go, so I'm rushing. Sorry to monopolize the.
You're fine. You're fine.
Last question. When you hit VIP 15, so you unlock the Darkness X or whatever, the dragon, how do you upgrade it after that? How only through the packages, right? The bundles, right?
I believe so. I believe there's a bundle that pops, and then it'll be a bundle that hits your bundle inventory, similar to how you buy like a grand promotion. Then after the 20 days finishes, right, it'll still stay saved there that you can purchase every day. That's the assumption. I don't know if someone here knows if that is 100% true, but that's just what my thought is, because I see people upgrading the dragon, and that is the only logical thing that really would make sense. To me.
I do not know right now, but I could get an answer on that probably within the hour or so. Since there's a bunch of VIP 15s in my guild, I could just ask one of them and get like a how-to.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Sorry guys, I need to drop off, but thanks a lot for the helpful comments, and I hope you do that more often. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Take
Thanks
care.
Over you too, man.
Bye-bye.
All right. Sorry, Ramis Ragul, what's up? I swear I thought Tim, were you Tim? But I don't know if it was before. I swear I thought I heard you trying to say something or follow up. I don't know if you still had a question.
No, not that I have right now.
Okay. So I thought I heard someone's mic go off before Soviet was going to ask something. Let me go through the questions chat though real quick and see if there's anything else. Let's see here. Oh, I think that answers Potato's question, because I think he's gone now, but I think he did ask that about the Leonidas versus Alex. Boss, do we know how much extra damage Shadow would do to the other elements? So that kind of goes in, I guess, to what I know I just said, Papa. So if you go in right now, right, and you look at the troops, right? So troops will take 25. They'll do 25% less damage, right, for a counter troop. So if you have Shieldman beats Spearman, so that means that Shieldman will take 25% less damage, right, if they're being attacked by Spearman. For Immortals that have an advantage, I want to say it's 25% base damage increase. Which I want to say is just the auto attack. I don't assume that that's factored into the skills based on the response I got. I'll double check on that in case that's changed, but from what I've been told, it's a 25% damage increase for the immortal for the element advantages.
Which is very strong.
Oh yeah. And I mean, it'll scale more too once you get to higher levels. So, Potato said lock my epics. I know, I probably should. I probably should just lock them so I don't accidentally...
You're triggering people.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh, I'm right there with you.
do you have any of them locked or no?
No, I don't have any of them locked.
Oh, you're crazy.
No. I'm asking for it. That's what I'm doing. Oh, jeez. Night King, what's up?
Somebody just tried to say something.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, was that you, Timbit?
No, I was wondering what you guys meant by locking.
You can just show her on the stream, right?
What is it? I'm so sorry. The voice was low for me. Could you repeat?
She wants to know what you mean about locking the Immortals.
Oh, sorry. Yes. So if you go to your alchemy lab, you can. There's a little button up here at the top right, and you just click that for lock, and it'll go into lock mode, and then you just click on the Immortals that you want.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's super helpful because I've heard some people that have accidentally done some damage, right? So then I can do the one click, right, and it'll only go 4, right? So it's a lot easier, and I probably should have been doing it for a while, but yeah, I hope that helps.
If it's an Immortal that you're going to be working on, a part of your main team or something, you definitely want to lock it. I think.
Go to my iron log. Oh, you know what? Alright, we're at 10:07. Alright, we're going to go a little bit longer. And... stone. Oh, no. Oh, such a drag. To find some food. Oh, no, I don't want that either.
I just wanted to comment on some of the things that some people talked about earlier. There are some hard stops in this game at certain power levels if you're a free-to-play player. Like there's probably around 30k and 50k, or before 50k. And that's mainly because of your castle level and troops tier. So your main goal should be still to level up your castle to level 30 as soon as possible.
Yeah. No, that is solid advice. Let me see here. Lock your epics. Danger asked, when do you farm it? Sorry. Oh, sorry. That was what you just asked. Let me see. Ass says, I wish I had that problem. I ran out of purple soulstones way before market refreshes. Yeah, man. That's...
Right? Yes.
Yeah,
Same, bro. Same.
Real world problems. Let's see. You wanted to see more about him. Oh, sorry, Chuck. You said Lance. Okay. So you wanted to see more about like the support skills? Is that what he's asking? See more about support skills? They called it in SOS. They called it infected friends, or maybe you're talking about the elite infected hunters. I was talking about boosting this area in your other marches to allow you to gain more troops. Okay, no, we answered that. Says I've done the marker manipulation with one account and not with the other. The only real difference I see is that the gold Immortals appear a lot more on the account with more unlocked. Yeah. Papa says, should I stop buying Ramses? Oh, Papa said, so I should stop buying Ramses and work on Herald. Well, I think it depends. I mean, I think running like Herald Attila is super viable for a front line.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that might actually be the meta front line for water, at least epic-wise over time, I think, based on what's available. I don't think Ramses is bad. I mean, I have Ramses unlocked. You know, so I think, like I said, I think for the most part it really just depends on, you know, what, because you can unlock Untilla, so the cool, like, if you're really looking to, like, min-max, right, you could spend $6 in the daily deals, right, by buying these, and I know we showed this earlier. You get the 20 mystery pearls, and then you just go here and you unlock Attila, right, and you can do that day one. So Herald's free to play. right? You could spend $6 max, have your front line set, and then once you spend $1, you unlock Merlin, so you already have your back line. And then you're really just waiting to get Yoshi, right? So you can just keep Helen in there until you unlock Yoshi, and then it's really just a waiting game at that point, right? So you can really set yourself up for a late game water team with just $6, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Ramses is okay. I think it's just, you might have to try using Ramses in a different comp, or maybe just in a different matchup with maybe different skills to get more out of him. Again, I'm only going off of not factoring in support skills, just kind of vanilla what their active skill is and based on how it works, in synergy with some of the other Immortals in that composition. Asked, gosh, no pun intended, how many auto attacks are in a round? I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure, actually. That would be really cool to count, though, if somebody wanted to count that. How many auto attacks are in a round? I guess you would have to test it with someone that isn't already using attack speed, so you could get the baseline amount. And then you probably would have to make sure that the person that you're watching isn't getting rooted or stunned, right? So you could actually get an average. But no, I think that's a good idea for someone to count, because I think that could factor into, because then from that you could gauge how many auto attacks in addition to damage you take would be the average that gets you to your first skill. Right, and then your second skill as well, right? And then you could probably start doing some math on how much attack speed and then energy regen skills would I need to add on, right, to get me to another skill or even a second proc skill, right? That would be interesting if someone did some math there. I think you could figure it out. It would just take a little bit of testing.
Pop, I sent you a message as well.
Pop. Oh, sorry. He said, yes, I have Attila, have Merit. Yoshi, yes. Okay. Oh, Chaka, cool. Okay. So, yeah, let me see there. So you said, oh, I see. Okay, so you're looking at, okay, so support skills. Yeah, like I said, I haven't really messed around with the support skills yet. So I am not the most proficient person to ask any questions on support skills. Like, I have only purchased I think it's the 2 starting skills that I've done, and that's just because all my purple gems are going into immortal skills. I think those are more valuable right now than support skills, primarily for free-to-play low spenders, right? If you're mid-high spender, then yeah, you might be able to start utilizing some of the support skills, but I think that, like, you can even see here, right, I just have the first 2, which is Onslaught and Wisdom, and that's just because it's a required chapter achievement that you have to unlock to keep moving in the chapters to progress. So yeah, I mean, I would defer support skills to probably someone like Shadow, because I know he has some unlocked, whereas I just don't. I'm just not going to invest in support skills because I'm basically in that kind of free-to-play, low spender category. So for me, I'm not going to invest anything until I have basically all my marches probably at max skilled, and then, which might take a year if I'm just being optimistic about it, and then I'll dive into support skills. So I just think there's a lot more value in using your purple gems to get max skills out, because I just don't think the support skills are not going to outvalue your immortals being at level 40, grade 20, and having maxed epic gear, right? It'll add on something comparable to what your active skill is at, right? In that quarter, right? So like, adding a support skill is 1/4 of what makes an immortal if you break it down in like percentages or fractions. So my thought in valuing it is I would rather improve the other 3/4 and get those to max before I start working on this 1/4, which is the minority portion that's affecting my overall immortal. In that regard, some people might view it differently. That's just how I view it. So, but again, as a free-to-play low spender, let me extremely preface there. Fatal Roll asked, question, what happens when...
Nice.
Yeah. So I hope that helps. If that is understood, and I can always type that out and then translate it if that might help too. Fatal Rule asks, question, what happens with lootable and protected resources? If I start upgrading something with resources which I got from my item bag, and then cancel the upgrade, does the 80% refund of my resources still remain protected and go straight into the warehouse? So, it does, I guess in short. So if you start something and then you cancel it, yeah, that 80% will go in there, and as long as it falls under your protected amount, it won't be lootable. The only resources that are lootable are ones that you're gathering from, and that's only when you exceed your protected capacity within the warehouse, right? So if you use an item for resources, that's not lootable. If you get resources from growth or from daily achievements, those are not lootable. It's only from gathering, at least from what we've tested so far. If they change that in the future, or if something else has not been accounted for, then we'll find that out. But at least at the moment, that's what we know. What is it? How long have we been going for? About an hour and 50 minutes? Okay. So yeah, I'm going to hang out for like another 10 minutes, just because I want to attempt to be productive in my day too, outside of enjoying all of these friendly faces. So yeah, we'll go just for a little bit longer. Let's see. Oh, I have to see how my new migration video is doing.
Oh, did you go ahead and post that for today?
I did.
Oh, that's exciting.
Kratos, that's funny. That picture he posted in Gen Chat, in the English chat. Let me see, where am I at? Oh, let me go back to my... Am I on my main? Oh, no, I'm good here. Okay. Just remember for a sec, like I'm missing something. Ooh. Did I get rid of those? I did. Okay, let's go back and farm a little bit. What do I need, Bowman? And well, I guess I will. Oh man, I was gonna say I am recording this, but I only recorded for about 48 minutes. So, yeah. And if anyone's interested, again, even if you're showing up now or later, again, I will be posting the town hall meeting that I recorded. So, on my channel.
No.
Yeah, I just tested it. When you build something and you cancel it, it goes to the warehouse. You can actually like abuse it quite well. I already thought up a few ways.
Interesting. Yeah, so you know what you could do, like if you're getting attacked and you want to upgrade something that costs a lot, you could upgrade it, then refund it if you want to use like if you're, or oh dude, you know what? You just gave me a great idea for, well, I guess it depends. I mean, it's like if you really need to upgrade a building though, like how often are you going to refund it?
No, you can, yeah, but you can abuse it in a way. Do you want to hear it? Like, do you really want to know how you can abuse it?
Okay, you can tell me later. Oh, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
So if you're, say you're level 30, your buildings cost few mil, you can transfer your resource to other person. Because if you're like on your warehouse max, you have those chests. You use your chests, but because normally chests can't be like plundered. But if you cancel the building, now they can be plundered because you're over your limit.
Ah, okay. I see where you're going with that. Okay.
But
that makes sense.
Like, it only works if you're high level, because otherwise it's like level 20 buildings are like 60k and so on. So it's not worth it. You have to be higher level.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. I guess when you think about it going over the protected cap. Let's refresh again. Okay.
So if someone is quitting the game, they can transfer all the resources they have to you.
Yeah. Only if they would be so kind. Only if they'd be so kind. Yeah. Let's see. Asbad, hey. Let's see. Who else joined? None. What's up? Yeah, if you guys are just joining and you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask in the questions channel. Or if you want, if you're in a place where you can voice, please feel free. We're just going to be going for about 8 or 9 more minutes. And again, we have recorded like the second hour, so we'll be uploading that as a VOD on my channel. I totally forgot to start recording the moment we started, so but whenever we do another one, I'll make sure we do that, so if people want to go back and listen to it as a podcast or even watching it, they can.
I actually want to suggest to new people who just started the game to try out the wind composition. And mainly, like, it should be only for a test account. The thing is, when you're building epics, you're mostly getting like 3 stars, 4 stars, and like a month in, you maybe have 5 stars if you're free to play. But 4-star epic is the same as maxed out elite, or even a bit weaker. So in that sense, if you have a maxed out elites, they're much stronger than your normal comp in the early game. For example, on one server, there's a guy his castle level is 26, but he has all elite wind maxed out, plus he has wind dragon 25 or so. His true power is like 56k, which is much higher than a level 29 castle, which has probably like 50k, because your epics aren't as high level.
No, I think that sounds like a good idea. Let's see.
Because you can't try it out with the water, because Green Hill sucks.
Yeah. No, Bryn isn't bad, man. I'm using Bryn.
Yeah, but when I look at the damage he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
His
I mean,
skill
well, she
is
has
like
the stun.
only 30%.
She has the stun chance.
Yeah, but it's 30%.
Yeah.
It's like so low.
Yeah. Alright, let's get Gilgi.
Boss is like, don't be hating on my Brennan, don't be hating on my Lance.
No, my Luscious Locks Lance, man. It's Luscious Locks, dude.
Like, he might look blue, but he's gold in my heart.
Yes, he is. That's absolutely right, man. Absolutely.
But I've only seen like wind composition with elites. I haven't seen anyone trying any other element with full elites to see how strong they are.
It's true. Well, it's also very hard to get the full epic team. So like you got to get Quinn from later on Arena, and then you got to get the Baldwin, which is pay. So it's very difficult to make that premium version of Wind as well.
Yeah, but up to the midpoint, it's very easy in the beginning. Like, you probably will be ahead of the rest of the pack up to a certain point.
Man, that's exactly how I feel about Fire, but I just can't run them because I just don't know. I don't have enough pieces skilled.
But fire would be bad in the beginning because of the water.
Really like Fire from Arena because you can really light somebody up like your positioning. You know, where
Oh,
you put
really?
the fight.
Oh, really? Fire can light someone up?
But it's such massive damage. Like even somebody that's like a lot higher than me, like on their main team, I put the fire team just to take off like 20%, and then I fight them on my main team. It's enough to pull the win.
Yeah.
It's really good at especially if you run William, Hippolyta, Wu, and Joka. You got all the crit, all the damage.
Yeah.
It's
Well, Gibbles was telling me yesterday about like the new arena strat, which is where you run your second march as your first, so it procs the dragon, and then any like the starter skills. So and then you put your primary as the second march. But I guess it doesn't matter. It's going to proc the dragon skills anyways, even for you. But it would use the dragon skills on your weaker march, right then your primary. So I was curious on that. I haven't tested it yet.
But it works only if your secondary marches are strong enough to do actual damage.
Well, no. But that's what I'm saying though. Is like what you do is you let your weaker march take the dragon procs, the skill procs, right? And then when your second march comes out, it's actually your primary. So
Yeah, but
you're avoiding the unnecessary damage from dragon.
You are not, because the dragons reset.
It resets on each march type.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I mean, maybe I need to watch that stuff all the way through. I thought it only hit once, and then it would.
No.
Okay, never mind then. Bad idea incoming.
But the idea is actually good because I've tried it. But if you're against a water dragon, if I deal enough damage, and he heals less than I deal to him, then I'm doing damage. But for that, I have to have a good second team.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll
I'll
take my idea to the gutter. So.
I thought he used like lightning and stuff so that the enemy team can't heal themselves. So in that sense, like you do damage, they can't heal.
Yeah.
Then you come with your main march.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's more situational. Like if you know what their lineup is running, and then you switch before you attack.
But in arena, I also like my main march is last, so I can like chip off even a little bit of damage.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, guys, we got about like 2 more minutes before I go ahead and dip out. I know we've been going for about 2 hours now, so. If anyone has any kind of last-minute questions, you're more than welcome to ask in the questions chat while we're going to be here for a few more minutes longer. And again, even when I leave, you guys are more than welcome to hang out. I'm sure Shadow and Immigrant might hang out a little bit longer if they decide to, or even if people just want to hang out and party like some rock stars. Oh yeah, switch orders. So like that's something that we talked about with like a suggested feature, being able to rotate the marches for when you're out in the field, like whether you want to quick select or change them when you're in arena as well. Like even if it's just like a press and hold and like you drag it up or down, something like that, or even if it's like an arrow that you just click and it'll reprioritize. I think that could be a nice quality of life update. As badass, is there a better element overall, or is it pretty much balanced? I mean, I would say for the most part, it is pretty balanced. I don't think we're really gonna see. I don't think we're really gonna see like the true meta until players actually max out multiple element compositions at a full true max for each of the Immortals, and then from there you start doing some testing. So because the game is still new, we're not really at that point yet. It just hasn't got there. Even if you look at some of the older servers that have players that have really high true power marches, even you'll see their Immortals are 40. I think their grade's 20, but it's like the one piece they're missing is their equipment, right? They still haven't got all the equipment to that max element focus, or the same element tier for that equipment grade, which is like the max one. So like when you get to epic gear, there's 3 different types, right? There's the standard epic gear, there's the increased epic gear, which has that little, it's like the corner icon, and then you have the element specific epic gear, which is like the 3rd grade of that epic gear. So you have to get that on.
So essentially, what you're trying to shoot for is you're trying to. So like I would call the one with the top left corner, that little mark, like that's the elite version of that, right? Because you start getting that at 6+.
Yeah.
So like you're trying to get that, you're trying to get it to roll that, and then plus the elemental bonus on top of that. So that's going to take. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while, but eventually, once you get that, right, then we'll see, right, and I'm sure people are, and that's not to say that I think the power is going to be that much more on getting that kind of tier 3 grade of epic equipment, right. You can probably estimate it once everyone gets epic equipment on probably what the max power is going to be for specific lineups, right, but at that point, you still would have to have other players that are doing the same thing for the other 5 element types, right? You'd have to get someone with max fire, max wind, max earth, lightning, and then water as well, right? And then you would have to do those tests against, right, fighting each other one-on-one, right? Doing garrison defenses or attacks to see how the battles go, and then look at the reports, and then kind of gauge it from there. And like I said, I just don't think that we're really at a point right now, just because of how new the game is, where we're really going to be able to do that thorough testing. I think over time we will. Maybe a couple months, 4, 5, 6 months down the road, right? We'll get there, and then I think that data will then be provided to people. So. All right. Well, I think that's probably it for me, guys. We are, what am I at right now? 10:32? Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and just turn the recording off now.